Welcome to my new series about purchasing and remodeling my new house. Me and my husband purchased a house and an empty lot in Georgia that's about 2 hours from where we currently live. I found the house online for sale, and it may have been on Zillow or a similar site, but then I double checked it by cross-referencing on the Georgia MLS to make sure that the listing info was accurate. And I reached out to the listing agent to let her know that I was interested in the property using the contact agent feature on the listing site. And the agent called me, so I drove out to see the home that same day. And I was really pleased to see that the house was in fairly good condition with a pretty good foundation and roof. And also the electricity and the plumbing were good, in good condition. So really the majority of the work that's needed is cosmetic. After my husband and I saw the house, I informed the agent that I would like to make an offer, and the agent emailed me a few documents. The first was the purchase and sale agreement, which is the contract. And the next document was the all-cash sale, no financing contingency. And so in that document, you either reserve or waive your right to secure financing, so either a mortgage or a hard money loan. And then also it outlines your timeline for when you're expected to show proof of funds and things like that. And then I also got a disclosure of info on lead-based paint. Lead-based paint. So that disclosure is just due to the age of the house. It's not confirming or denying whether or not there's lead-based paint. It's just you acknowledging that there may be lead-based paint because of when the house was built. After the house was under contract, I went ahead and got an inspection done on the house. The inspection cost $325. And then once the inspection was completed, I paid the earnest money to the agent in the amount of $500. I paid that in the form of a check, whereas I paid the inspector using a credit card. And then I showed proof of funds after paying the earnest money, and I did that by sending my bank statements over to the agent and the seller. About a week later, we were ready for closing. We hired an attorney for closing who spent about a week doing the title search and other things that needed to be done documentation-wise before we could get to the closing table. And so once we were at the closing table, we were presented with a settlement statement, which we were actually presented with that before closing, just so that we saw the breakdown of what everything would cost in total, including our closing cost. And because the total cost of the house was fairly low, $10,000, the closing costs were fairly low. So my closing costs in total were $635, and that included everything. So that's what the statement broke down. And then we also received a purchaser survey affidavit and indemnity agreement, and that just really outlined the outside of our property, showing us our property limits and that is recorded. And then also we got a purchaser's preliminary title certificate showing that the title was researched and that it came back clear. And we also have title insurance through the attorney that did the closing. And then we got a limited warranty deed where the official deed will be coming to us in the mail. But these are the documents that we signed and that we left the attorney's office with. And as soon as we left the attorney's office, we went straight to our new home and we boarded up all of the broken windows. We boarded up the crawl space, as I'm sure you saw that it was open originally. And this video that you're seeing now is what this house looked like when we purchased it. This is what the house looked like at closing when it was officially our house. And so I just wanted to really show you this because we are doing quite a bit of remodeling on this house and it's going to look significantly different. We're keeping the layout for the most part. We're just going to do an open concept in the living room, between the living room and the hallway and the kitchen, and add a bathroom. But really it's going to come to life. And so I really wanted you to see where we started before I start showing you how we're updating this to make it more modern and more comfortable for our liking. And that's pretty much everything. That is your quick and easy steps, because when I went through this process, I did not know what the process would bring, or I didn't really know the details. And this industry is sort of like that, especially when you're buying in a wholesale situation, or when you're buying in an investment situation where you're not buying a property at retail value. And when you're doing that, things are just kind of obscure. And not everything is very obvious. So I wanted to give this information for everyone out there hoping to go through this same process and just wanting to be a little less in the dark about it. And I hope this was helpful. If you have any suggestions or comments or questions, feel free to comment below.